my darlings. Good evening, and welcome to our very special vignette of our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL By Night, Fruitful Works of Darkness. Let's welcome our vampires.
I'm Dustin Fletcher, and I'm playing Cyrus ibn Muhavara Beniafta.
Hi, I am Cynthia Marie, and I'm playing none other than Lucita de Aragon.
These vignettes are designed to be small stories that cover other happenings around the city of Atlanta. So now let's sit back, relax, and let's tell a vampire story. So Cyrus, as you have woken up tonight, I need you to give me a rouse check.
I get hungry.
Okay, starting the night at a hunger 2. And so where would you like to go?
I'm gonna go...
Dot has informed you of your shiny new Mustang that is tricked out with weapons waiting at the house for you.
Knowing that they're away at this time, I'm gonna head up there so I don't have to deal with them.
Okay.
And I am going to grab it.
Okay. Beautiful black on black Mustang, matte black, similar to your truck.
Okay. I'll take basically hitch rides just on various vehicles.
Okay.
On the way up there, just so I don't have to drop my truck off there. I can keep my truck where I have it as well. And I'm assuming it's in the garage?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna open the garage. I'm gonna take a look at it for the first time.
And it is a stunning vintage 1967 Mustang with matte black paint. And there is a note on the windshield from Dot.
I'm gonna look at it.
It says, "While the others have found their magic ponies, I decided to give you your own pony. It is full. Every surface you see, you can open."
And I will open the door.
Keys are
take note,
waiting for you.
Crunch it up, and gonna take a few moments to look it over and see what's there.
The inside seems like a plain vintage Mustang, but as you start to feel along the edges of the interior, you can feel hollowness. And if you pull slightly, it will pop out to reveal guns hidden within the framework of the vehicle. And there's a lot of them.
And I will close it, and then I'm going to make my way towards Dot.
Okay, checking for more work.
Yep, I'm gonna open. Yeah, I've got a question I want to ask her. So.
Okay.
I wanna gonna start it up. I'm gonna back out, and I'm gonna make my way back into the city.
All right. Lucita. The city is much different than when you last saw it. So much new construction, it's hard to keep track. There's a few buildings you recall, but ones you once loved have now been torn down and converted into luxury townhomes or novelty coffee shops. It's maddening, and yet being here again feels almost nostalgic. The smell, the noise, the view of the night sky that you almost never get treated to in a big city. Atlanta's different, with the city being as spread out as it is. The moon shines so brightly that the streetlights are almost useless at this time of night. This time, however, you're alone, as you have been time and time again throughout the ages. Something, and you're unsure exactly what, has begun to call to you. Perhaps more nostalgia, or perhaps something greater. You've been looking for artifacts everywhere you can, piecing together history that has been lost. And your next stop is somewhere around here. The lights of the flashing Fox Theater above head. You remember an old friend, Dorothy, the primogen of the Nosferatu. someone who could find just about anything.
I'd like to pull out my phone. I'm not very good at it. Obviously, I use an old phone because face recognition does not work for me. And so I pull out an old phone and I try to tap very quickly. Dorothy, are you still around in the Atlanta area?
Okay. A text message comes back quickly that just says, Lucita, my darling, yes, come here, with a location.
Okay, I'm gonna just follow the location.
Okay. The location leads you to a train station. And outside the train station stands a man in a hood who approaches you and just kind of bows his head. And he says, Miss Lucita, I assume?
Yes. Who are you?
My name is Das. I'm the ferryman to the Nosferatu Haven.
I see.
Right this way.
Excellent.
And he leads you into the train station and down to a small beat-up train car. The windows have been blackened out completely, and he pushes the door open to allow you in and closes it, and he takes off, zooming down the subway tracks. And after a few moments, he stops and goes to let you out, and there is a service door entrance. And he walks out and opens the door for you, lowering his head again. He has clearly been informed that you are a special visitor. And inside are old train cars stacked and tilted, small homes for Nosferatu. And in the middle is a large stack of them that could only belong to Dorothy.
Very interesting. I would like to proceed straight to the large one.
All right. You proceed straight to the large one, and it is unusually quiet in here. Your legend has certainly preceded you, as a couple Nosferatu are kind of peeking just a little bit, wanting to see the famed Lucita. And from out the door is your old friend, a Nosferatu with pure white skin, piercings and dermals throughout her bald head, a long slinking black dress that is barely there, with piercings with ribbon running through them all throughout her body. And she says, please come in. Oh, I've missed you. You look wonderful.
Oh, I should say the same about you. You've got some more piercings that weren't there last time I spoke to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm rather fond of them. And she leads you in, and she says, if you don't mind, my associate is here with me. Cyrus, please meet Lucita, someone I have known a great many years.
He just nods.
Interesting company you keep here.
He's well, the Camarilla call him a scourge now, but he's someone that I personally trust with a lot of my goings-on in the city. What brings you to town?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I have a bit of a calling that I am feeling the need to search out, and I know that you are quite good at searching for things.
Oh, always. Do you know what kind of a calling you're feeling?
It's sort of a pull to an artifact. It's a rosary of some type.
Cyrus, you're out more than I am.
The only thing that I can think of is the Athenium.
Anton's home.
He kept trinkets and other things that I have no idea what it was. Let's start there.
Intel tells me that the Athenium's currently crawling with Second Inquisition, so...
Yeah.
Are you up for a little fun, Lucita?
Of course, you mentioned the Inquisition.
They're here and they're annoying. Our intel is that they've got a little pet a Lasombra that they've been experimenting on. We're doing our best to mitigate this situation.
How are you mitigating said situation?
We know where he is sometimes, and we're encouraging him towards a more public setting so that we can deal with him. These soldiers appear to be creating a serum out of his blood and experimenting on him and those that they force him to embrace. So be on the lookout. You might see some familiar shadows in the area.
Noted. Thank you for the intel. Where is this place that has the rosary I'm looking for?
Cyrus, would you be willing to care for my friend for the evening?
He like scowls at Dot for a second. It's gonna cost you.
Of course, it always costs me, dear. I'll have it waiting for you.
A gun for hire, I see.
Oh, of course. Why would I surround myself with anything less?
That is true.
You can always trust people that know they're getting paid.
So, but you trust somebody who is a part of the Ivory Tower?
Oh, he's not. Sweet baby here is Banu Hakim.
Ah, I see. Understood. Well, Cyrus, is it?
Cyrus ibn
Cyrus.
Muhabara bin Yaftab.
It's a long name. We just call him Cyrus.
It's beautiful. Cyrus, if you don't mind, I'd like to get started on this journey.
I'll explain details and fill you in on intel on the way.
Wonderful. And take care in the city, Lucita. If you need anything, call me.
Will do. Thank you, Dorothy.
And she waves you out. Cyrus, are you walking Lucita out now?
He'll kind of hesitate a moment, staring at Dot once again, and then turns and will walk away.
Okay.
See you soon, Dorothy. As he
If you
walks
call
out the
me
door.
that again, I will take your head, darling.
And he'll make his way out, back the way he came to DOS to take them out.
Yes, and Doss will ferry you guys back up to the train station and out the front door of the train station, and he just kind of takes his leave.
And I will walk to my car.
Okay. Lucita,
No.
are you following him?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will get in. I will not open the door for you. I just get in and wait for you to get in.
Excellent. I am going to open the door. I'm actually, before I open the door, I'm going to run my hand across the top of the car. Do I feel anything different outside of just it being a car?
There is nothing supernatural about this car.
Okay. And I'm going to press in anywhere. Like, am I going to feel any sort of like surveillance cameras? I'm looking for anything that would be out of the ordinary.
Nothing out of the ordinary. The only mechanical type presences that you feel are some more advanced weaponry that appears to be lining the doorway.
Great. That's what I wanted to know. I'm just going to sit in.
Okay. So Lucita gets in the car. And what are you doing, Cyrus?
I will head towards the Athenium.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what you're looking for. Frankly, I don't care. What you do need to know is this is a Tremere haven and is warded heavily.
My type of fun, a puzzle in a box.
I don't know what to expect as far as surveillance around. The place got compromised because whoever was there is an idiot and got themselves caught.
I see. Tell me one thing. Are you afraid of this place?
No.
Good. So this should be not a challenge then.
I hope it is. I'm bored.
You're bored. Why do you feel the need to say that you're bored?
Because I need to kill something. It's been too long.
I see. Born killer, much like myself. Well, then I hope that tonight will be entertaining for the both of us.
My specialty is sniping. However, I can infiltrate.
Sniping, so you like to be far away.
I can be.
Understood. Well,
But
I am. Go
It
ahead.
depends on what you need my assistance with, as I am being paid to assist you.
Well, let me be clear here. I need no assistance from anybody. The only thing that I need from you is to tell me how to get from point A to point B. The rest is on you. If you'd like to enjoy this journey with me, you are more than welcome to, but never, ever think that I need your assistance. Am I clear?
I'm only doing what I paid to do. If you need backup, I'll be there. If not, I'll wait in the car. I don't care.
I think you're going to enjoy coming in with me.
And he'll continue driving.
Okay.
He'll park a couple blocks over.
Okay.
Um,
And so, Cyrus, this part of town, after your last stint at the Center for the Puppetry Arts, which is across the street from the Athenaeum, has increased the presence of security and police officers in this side of town. And there's quite a few Inquisition soldiers standing outside. As you watch them patrol from where you are, you can see maybe 3 stationed out front and 2 that appear to be walking the perimeter in opposing patterns.
If we start taking people out, they're going to have backup here before we can get in and get out. If we can get in and get out without being noticed, I recommend that's what we do.
Understood. I can get in and get out. What is the shadow situation looking like around here? I understand we're at night, but is it fully lit or is there more shadows?
So this building is a small 2-story bungalow style house, but it is public property. There's a library up front, and it has a small wraparound porch, but on either side of it are much larger buildings, so this building is covered in shadow.
Cyrus, is it possible for you to park as close to the shadows as possible?
And he'll nod and depend which shadows. Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Good.
and he'll park a ways, so it's a couple blocks away from the Athenaeum itself.
Okay.
And he'll trek the rest of the way on foot.
Okay. And so, Lucita, are you going to disappear into shadow?
Yes, I would actually like to... See, normally I would jump shadows, but I don't want to leave my new friend here, so I'm going to just activate Unseen Passage.
Okay. And Cyrus, what are you doing for your approach?
I'm going to vanish from sight.
Wonderful.
As I fade away into nothing in front of her. I'm going to make my rouse check. I get hungrier.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think a rouse check for Unseen Passage as well.
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay, good. I thought there was. Okay.
Unseen Passage does have...
Oh, it does.
a
It
rouse
does.
check. Yes.
Okay,
Unseen
yeah,
Passage
so
does have-
I failed.
Okay. So, Lucita, you are now at 2, and Cyrus, you are at 3. And Cyrus, a couple of these soldiers look a little familiar to you. 1 or 2 of them might have even been in the facility and gotten away.
I am going to quell the beast for now, but will not keep him quiet for long.
Okay.
As I will activate Silence of Death.
Okay.
And completely start moving towards the thing.
All right. And so as you guys get a bit closer in the darkness, they're not noticing your approach. It seems like they've been here for a while. This is probably their usual beat, and an assignment that they feel annoyed with, having to watch this area so frequently when nothing happens. And you overhear two guards, kind of with their backs to you, but lax. Their guns are just sort of like hanging at their side. And one just says, "What do you think they're gonna do with the Shadow Man? He's like out roaming free, isn't he?" You know how it is with cats. Some of them just do better when you let them go around outside. New facility still got a room for him though, so I'm probably sure they're gonna like move him in at some point. You know, those pissed off blanks that attacked us last time are probably hunting him. He says, "You think so, man?" He's like, "Yeah. Blank 101. They got like some intense society rules and shit. They probably think he's a traitor and they're gonna kill him, so probably in their best interest to move him into the facility quick." Like, man, fucking monsters. They really think we're the bad guys. Come on. And with their distraction of their conversation, you are able to get behind them. But the patrolling guard is walking towards your direction.
How quickly is the patrolling guard moving towards us? Is it a possibility that we can split and get around him?
Yeah, you can. There's enough space around the side of the house if you want to go in a side entrance or get around to the back entrance. Mm-hmm. There's enough space for you guys to split on either side of him. He's just sort of like slow, meandering walk. Like, they're all quite bored.
Got it. My goal is to get to the back of the building.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Sense the Unseen triggered so I can get a feel of where she is.
Okay. So you are able to see her, and you can see her flanking to the right of the guard to go around him.
I am going to go the opposite way.
Okay. And so you guys are able to just barely skim right past him. He has a moment where he stops and kind of shudders. And it's like, man, fucking October's cold in Atlanta. The others are like, I know, right? And he just keeps walking. And you guys are able to get around to the back of the house.
And I'll move in, and still vanished from sight, I will kind of just as I move towards where I see Lucita, I will... That's the door there, but again, it's warded. I don't know what it's gonna do if you just walk through it.
And so, Lucita, you would know the one thing that can always get past a ward is a shadow.
Yes. So I'm assuming there's a shadow nearby. I would actually like to activate Shadow Step at this point.
Okay.
I should probably look that one up. Is that a rouse check?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good. All right, so Shadow Step. So I'd just like to go in from one shadow into a shadow into the house.
Okay. So, Cyrus, with your Sense the Unseen, you see Lucita just fade, but then she fades again, back inside the house.
I'm going to try to trigger the lock from the inside. I'm assuming the ward is on the outside.
The ward is on the door frame, I believe.
Ah, so is there a window next door to the door?
Yes.
I'm going to open the window.
Okay. And Cyrus, you know you are able to enter.
Okay, and I like see it open, and I was like thinking to myself, really, Anton, you didn't ward the windows? As I will make my way in. As I was making my way to pick the lock.
As this is a public building, you know it probably was an ill idea to ward the public parts of it.
Okay, and I will go into the window as soon as it's open. I will shut it behind me so that she knows I'm in.
Okay. And so, Lucita, you do see the window just and close. And you guys are now inside the Athenaeum. Lucita, this appears to be a simple library, like a public resource kind of library. A little unkempt. Someone hasn't been in it for months to upkeep it, but it looks like the kind of place you would go to find books on local lore. And there is a door that, Cyrus, you know to be the basement door.
And I will head over and I will open that.
Okay. And Cyrus, you'll remember this door is warded.
Okay. And I will again say, another ward here.
There's so many wards.
We will keep with your rouse check from your previous shadow step for the rest of the scene, if you want to jump shadows.
Great. Yep, I am jumping again.
Alright, so you'll jump down to the basement. Cyrus, I imagine you will just walk down.
I will. And I just, as I see her meld into shadows again, Cyrus just, and will make his way down, shutting the door behind him.
Okay. And as you guys enter, you see clearly the home of a Tremere. There are, to your right, rows of books and bookshelves. To the left, a small recreation area with a couch, TV. There are some central displays in the room, a small workspace at the back, and a couple small alcoves of more books, and a couple doors at the back.
Cyrus, do you know where he would keep artifacts that perhaps are unsavory for even a Tremere to be holding on to?
I don't. I was not in here often. Only when I needed to be. The coterie spent most of the time here.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's something hidden here, knowing Anton.
You are free to explore the room. Just let me know which area you would like to look through.
We are in...
So you are in that main opening area right before the recreation area on the left and the row of books on the right.
I would venture over to the workspace.
Okay. So in this workspace, there are 2 filing cabinets. One of them has a small safe on top. There is a desk with a computer, office supplies, decorative skull, desk calendar, and looking at the cabinet, you can see the faint edge of what appears to be a trapdoor.
Interesting. I'm going to try to trigger it, see what happens.
Try to trigger the trapdoor?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. The trapdoor appears to open upwards, and so the cabinet is on top of it, and that cabinet has a safe on top of it as well.
Great. I'm just gonna I'm gonna use my potence. I don't know which one here. Let's see. Drought of no. Let's do Uncanny Grip. That's probably gonna be easier.
Okay.
I'm just gonna basically push all of it to the side.
Okay. As you go to push it to the side, there is oddly a large poster of Dolly Parton on the side of this. There's actually a few Dolly Parton posters in here. Interesting.
Do you recognize these curly hair? This person with the big hair? No. I've seen this face a few times of my time being here at Atlanta. It seems that there is a partiality to this. Never mind. And I just.
All right.
Cyrus will reappear for this, for instance, just so Lucita can see him. But as she like shoves it and like the clattering, he'll actually like quick draw his, suppressed sidearm, and just kind of point it in that direction, but then immediately reholster it when he notices that what it was, and just kind of glares at Lucita for just a second, and then turns back and starts looking wherever he is over in, we'll say, the center row
Okay.
of book is where he's looking.
Okay. And Lucita, are you reaching to touch the trapdoor?
I'm gonna, yeah, so you said that it unsprung a little bit, right? So I'm just kind of running my fingers around it just to make sure there's nothing like too crazy going
Okay,
on.
since you are touching it, please roll me 9 dice.
Get everything else out of the way.
And I will be rolling as well.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay, and I will be rolling against you. As you touch it, a searing pain goes through your hand, and you take 1 point of aggravated damage.
I should have known.
But you are, yeah, touching it does the pain. But Cyrus, you know that with the wards in here and with how Anton prepared the wards, you are free to touch as you wish.
Do I hear anything coming? Like, do you like gasp or pull back or no? Yeah.
You just so unseen passage would have already been dropped because of pushing the stuff. So you see her, so you just see the.
He again just kind of glares just a bit before walking over, and I would assume that every surface that leads to another is going to be warded. He's meticulous like that.
Noted.
And Cyrus will look down. I don't know what's down there. I've never seen this.
Well, the object that I'm looking for that's calling to me suggests that perhaps I need to go down here.
And
perhaps.
Cyrus will just reach down and open it.
Okay. So as you open it, inside is a concrete hole containing manacles, a box of blood vials, which look familiar to you as the ones that were collected from you and the rest of the coterie to gain access to the building. And there's quite a few dozen in there, more than the coterie.
I am going to collect those.
Okay. And the walls of that pit, as you look at them, they are also covered in scorch marks.
I'm going to look at that.
Left.
But, the vials.
The vials. The vials are not labeled, but if you take some time later, you could investigate who they belong to.
I will do that.
Okay. And Lucita, you feel the pull in your chest start to kind of lead you back towards where the books may be. It's a faint feeling. Maybe the books, maybe the display cabinets, something in this area.
Okay, so noting what happened here didn't look like anything I was looking for, so I'm literally just gonna whip around and look at the display cabinets and head that way.
Okay. And so as you pass the books, there are large bookcases with a few, with your occult rating, a few titles stick out to you. The Gospels of Irad and Ada, Codex of the Damned, the Book of Nod. Things that are very familiar. On top of one of those shelves is the flamethrower that likely caused what Cyrus saw down below. And then there is a large display case in the hallway that is covered by a drop cloth. It's the only thing here that is covered.
Okay, learning my lesson from last time. Not gonna touch the cloth yet. I'm gonna signal Cyrus to come on over.
I will walk over and I'll look at the flamethrower. And I'll just take note of it for now, and then
Okay.
I will go to Lucita. Yeah.
Cyrus, do you mind pulling the... Can you uncover these,
I'll
please?
just reach up and just pull the drapery off, or cloth, or whatever it is, and just pull it and throw it on the ground.
Okay. Let's see here. Cyrus, if you could roll 9 dice for me, please.
Yep.
And I will roll against you.
Do I need to add my hunger?
Yes.
Nine successes.
You're able to do it. There's a tingle in your hand as you grab it, but nothing too disruptive, and you're able to rip the cloth off.
Nope. Pretty sure this is what you're looking for. And I'll kind of like just...
And underneath it is a display case entirely made of silver with a rune-inscribed baton and several rosaries. Lucita, if you could please roll me wits and occult.
Five, 6.
Wonderful. The baton that you see is the Argent Baton, an artifact, though not exactly what you are looking for at the moment. The rosaries, most of them are simple with purple beading, but it's the particular shade of purple and the look of the rosary that you know these to belong to many Sabbat priests, and they are covered in blood. And among them in the middle is one that is much fancier than the rest. Much nicer. Also stained with blood, and the blood on these does appear to be quite old. And you feel that pull in your chest getting tighter and tighter. This is it.
What's the lighting situation in this display cabinet?
It doesn't have its own independent lighting. You can just see it from the general lighting of the room.
Okay.
It does have shadows inside.
This can be a weird request.
Okay.
I would like to basically shadow step and like just basically use my arm like going into a shadow and try to grab the...
Okay, so you can do
rosary.
that. You are capable of going 2-dimensional into the bookcase, so you slink into the shadows and you're able to push through the oblivion just enough, and Cyrus, you see a hand come through the shadow and grip around the rosary and pull it into the shadow along with it. And then Lucita, you come back out.
Useful.
And Lucita, looking at this rosary, it's even more ornate than it appeared initially in the case. On the back of it is inscribed, Antonio, keep the sword strong in Atlanta, Julius. And it is scorched and bloody. Antonio rings a bell. Antonio Delgado, the last known bishop of Atlanta. And Julius is likely Dr. Julius Sutphin, the first bishop of Atlanta.
Interesting. I was not expecting such insignia. For good measure, I'd actually like to take the other 2 rosaries and what was the other? The ornate baton.
The baton. So you'll take the Argent Baton and the other rosaries?
Yep.
All right.
I'm just gonna clear out the whole display case because
Okay.
it feels very, very precious to Sabbat, and don't want that in anyone else's hands.
Okay. And as you have grabbed them all and looking at the rosaries and the scorch marks and the blood, This appears to be a literal trophy case.
There's rage that builds up in Lucita, but it's just...
And at your hunger rating, it is gnawing at you.
I'm just gonna swallow my pride for a second and just walk away. That is enough. We need to go. Unless there's anything else that you would like to pillage.
Is there anything that I saw that Anton would want? That I would think that Anton would need? Most of the stuff he got from his assistant, right?
He got essentially enough that could fit in a few small boxes, but there are larger things here, large amounts of books. It would probably take a small U-Haul to get everything else out of here.
Oh, I'm looking at something that I'm like, maybe have noticed that he had.
Give me wits and occult.
It's just gonna be all my hunger dice.
Oh no.
It's 2 successes.
That's still a success. So there are a few display cases and rows of books. The central display contains a small brass plate with hooks lining the edges. Appears to be a shield. There are several bloodstones. There are small wax tablets. Another case contains books that seem to be generalized occult books. The central display case has a long, bloodied spear. Not anything that seems special. A small case has a set of black dice with white dots, but a few of the dots are blood red. And there is a center row of books that contain record books from the Atlanta Elysium that appear to have burn edges on them and damages, and a few of Sabbat records. And those as well are damaged. These appear to be someone's intense record keeping of what transpired in Atlanta.
Cyrus just looks over, looks around, looks at all of the occult stuff, grabs the flamethrower.
Okay. Alright, so Cyrus with a flamethrower and Lucita with...
Is it like a backpack, or is it like a mini with a small...
Like a mini.
Okay, that's much better. Does it have a strap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, he'll just sling it over his shoulder.
Is that all?
That's all I care about.
All right, then we will proceed out just as we got in. Hopefully we won't make any scene here.
And I will nod, and I will make my way back up. I will open the door so you don't have to touch the frame.
Just out of curiosity, while walking out, is there any sort of rapier nearby?
Looking at the inventory of this place, the closest you would see to a weapon would be the spear.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Alright, so you guys head back upstairs. And now, as you can see through the window, the guards are at the back of the house, and they are just standing there chit-chatting, showing pictures on their phones back and forth.
I'd like to activate Unseen Passage, just did my rouse check, and I'm good.
Okay.
I, too, am going to vanish with Unseen Passage.
Okay.
I do not get hungrier.
Good. Alright, and so how are you guys going to get out?
Well, there are a lot... Can we look through the window and see?
Yes, with Unseen Passage, you can look through the window. They are standing in kind of a backyard area where you guys had initially come in, but they are standing facing the house.
I'm going to look to see if there is a interior maintenance roof access, since this is a public building.
There is not.
Oh, okay. then
because this is a modified old house.
got it.
All right, well.
Is there an attic?
If you went upstairs to check, there would be an attic.
I'm gonna go up, and I want to go into the attic.
Okay. And so in the attic, there's boxes, storage, nothing else here that would indicate a way out.
Okay, yeah, just looking to see if maybe there's like a small, like, vent or anything there. Okay.
Not that you can see.
It looks like there's gonna be one way out.
And I'm just gonna, looks that way. And I'm gonna make my way to the second story.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, is there a window overlooking the back entrance?
Yes.
And I am going to kind of get into position, kind of look to where I can see them. And I look to Lucita and I say, I'll cover your exit.
Wonderful. I am going to activate Stygian Shroud. I'm gonna I'm gonna bring the darkness over them as I'm coming out the door.
Okay.
As that happens, I activate Oblivion Sight so I can see right through it.
All right. And so as darkness starts to grow around them, they notice it quick and they start to shout.
And as soon as I see that darkness, I'm using unerring aim. I'm gonna make a rouse check. I am now at 4 hunger. And I start shooting.
And Cyrus, this shooting feels good. That hunger is clawing from your stomach up into your chest, into your throat, almost asphyxiating with the pain of hunger. But they have shouted.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to put 3 bullets in between their eyes as fast as I can. As soon as I was waiting on her move.
And what is your firearms roll?
And I'm gonna blood surge this.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Okay.
I'll reroll 4. That is only 7 successes.
Only 7. But you still, at this close range, manage to shoot both of them in the head, and they fall. But the shouting has called the others. And now 3 more soldiers. You can hear Ran, but now you can't see them.
I would love to step in at this point and use my fleetness to catch one of them. If that's at all possible.
They are coming around the edge of the house. There is 2 on one side and 1 on the other, so you will need to see one coming first.
Noted. So I'm going to come out the door and I'm going to wait into the shadow. So I'm going to wait for them to come over here.
So one by himself comes up on the right.
Awesome. I'm going to come up behind him, grab it, and I'm going to bite in and use Lingering Kiss.
Okay. And so as you sink your teeth in, he sort of leans back into you for a moment, enjoying it. And something about his blood has a familiar taste. A certain smoky quality that you've only felt from other Lasombra. There is Lasombra blood in his veins.
Great. I'm gonna hold back just a little bit there. So I've got Lingering Kiss on him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna basically toss that one aside, and I'm gonna wait for the next one to come.
The other 2 are coming in a pair around on the left side.
Awesome. I would like to use... I would like to activate Fist of Cain, so when they arrive, it's just going to be a straight punch through their chests.
Okay. And so as they come around, you're able to, with both hands, just straight through, and even grabbing their hearts on the way through, ripping both of their hearts from their chest. And Cyrus, that smell is hitting you.
Yep. And she's holding, and I'm like, as I'm firing, she has the one that was coming around that side. As I'm coming down out of the window, I want to take aim and shoot him as I'm coming down.
Okay. And we'll take your previous firearms roll, and with Lingering Kiss, he's pretty easy to subdue this way.
And as I kind of hit, I just look up. Like breathing heavily, just staring at you, holding the 2 hearts.
I'm actually going to toss him one of the hearts. I'm taking a bite out of the other one.
And as soon as I catch it, I'm going to immediately take a bite out of it as I move to the one who I had just shot. And I wanted to hit him to where I drop him, but I don't kill him.
Yeah.
Because I want to feed on him.
Okay. How far are you feeding? Will you kill him?
I will kill him, yes.
Okay, so you will be reduced to hunger 0.
Yep, and I want to rip out his throat as I start to chew the flesh, because hunger 4, I don't have control, and as I kind of finish the other heart, I start tearing open his rib cage as I rip out his heart and start feasting on it.
And Lucita, this is a primal, brutal display from Cyrus. This is a lot, but he's clearly hungry.
A little bit enjoyable. Lucita just kind of narrows her gaze and kind of like flips around the other side to see who else is coming, just so I can block what's happening. But I'm let him do his thing.
That is all of the soldiers.
And as I finish, I'm gonna go down and I want to take all of their magazines. Okay.
And so pretty easy to do with all of them down. The guns that they're carrying, Cyrus, are very different. And they don't look like anything you have seen, except for one place.
Yeah, when I infiltrated. Yep. Well, I want to take their weapons and all of their magazines.
Okay. You will be quite heavily loaded with 5 guns and magazines and the flamethrower.
Yep. And I just sling them over kind of my body and just drenched in just the blood. I am gonna look at Lucita. We should leave.
One moment, please. The one with Lingering Kiss, because I still kept him alive. I'm just gonna go back and just.
That was the one that Cyrus.
That he took out. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. That's the one that you watched him completely rip apart.
Oh, great. Awesome.
And the other 2 that Cyrus initially dropped, when you checked them, the shots through their heads were very clean. They are gone.
Great. Okay. Then I'm gonna shadow step because we parked next to a shadow.
And as she does that, I'm gonna vanish once more. Even though I am quite sustainable, I go back up to hunger 1.
Okay. And as you guys are making your way out, the police sirens are beginning, and they're coming closer to this area.
As I turn to leave, I pull the flamethrower and I light the bodies again.
Okay. And
so just hitting the bodies, not hitting the building.
Okay.
And as I turn back, I walk back towards the car.
Okay.
I'm going to use celerity to move fast.
Okay. And so you both quickly make it back to the car. Cyrus, you are able to load all of these weapons into the trunk.
Yep.
Which, as you pop the trunk, you see some more conspicuous panels in this trunk. And Dot has absolutely outfitted you to the teeth.
I just kind of internally smile as I toss the stuff in, hop in, and leave.
For the record, Lucita opens his door.
Okay. Lucita opened the door for you.
And again, he just kind of gives you that just blank look, like blood just drenched down his face as he's just... And
you don't need to clean up for me if that's what you're worried about.
doesn't respond to that retort, and he just enjoys the taste of the kindred-laced blood as he will look to you. I met you at Dots. Am I taking you back there?
Yes, I'd probably be best for now. It's getting later, and I'm not quite sure my arrangements of getting through the day is in sorts. So yes, I'm come around the other side, open my door. I'm actually going to activate Stygian Shroud just because I want to cover the area that we're at and make it completely dark so that the police just drive right by where we're at.
Okay.
And as that happens, Cyrus looks and you watch as his eyes go black as he activates Oblivion Sight.
And so with the area covered in shadow, the police zoom right by you and pull in to the front of the Athenaeum.
I feel like this is not a good idea to leave these police officers wondering what happened here.
And Cyrus, you know from your experience, the police themselves are infiltrated by the SI.
Oh. Their SI. Yeah.
So more of an adventure, eh?
Every day.
Can you get a clear shot on them, or shall I take them out?
I can. There's just more gonna come.
Well, perhaps we should get the jump on these two, and then we should figure out the root source of these problem with Dot.
And I've been in Atlanta long enough to know that I can take out these two and that's fine. But more on the way shortly, and it's only going to be a matter of seconds before we have 15 to 20 patrol cars and more.
I do not like loose ends, but I
But
understand.
unfortunately, Atlanta itself is a loose end right now with the SI crawling all over it. You're more than welcome to go in, but you're going alone.
That is fine. I'm actually gonna go in.
Okay. How do you wish to approach?
I'm gonna actually walk up to them very calmly.
Okay.
Shake.
And one of them has their gun at the ready and the other holds up his hand and says, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, we got a report of a crime over here. Is there something we can help you with?"
No, but I think there's something I can help you with, and I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna use mass manipulation on them.
Okay. And what are you commanding them to do?
You are going to leave this place, and you're not going to remember a thing that was called in about these.
And you see their eyes kind of glaze over for a moment, and their jaw goes a little slack. And they walk back to their car, and they get in and drive away.
I'm also just going to take a look around real quick. Is there any surveillance camera? Not that they could see me, but...
There are no installed surveillance cameras.
Okay. I'll walk back to the car.
Okay.
And as you do, you actually see Cyrus jumping from the top of the building, putting his sniper rifle up, as he had gotten up to bird's eye watch.
Thank you for having my back.
Wouldn't have hesitated to put a bullet through you if you fucked up. Get in.
And so you guys get in the car and begin to make your way back to the ferryman. Lucita turning over the rosaries in your hand. The anger still deep in you, though you haven't been connected with the Sabbat intimately in a long time. But someone in this city, and likely the home you were just in, not only killed Sabbat, but likely hunted them. And then there is this Lasombra, prisoner, ally, whatever he is of the SI. The city is enraging in its own ways.
I would love to have a conversation with Dorothy at some point.
Okay. And so you guys do get back. Doss the ferryman takes you guys back to the haven.
Will grab one of the rifles that they had.
Okay.
I'll take it down with me.
Okay. And so you guys head back to Dot. She's reclining on a subway car. And she says...
toss the weapon at her.
She catches it, looks like it goes, "What the fuck is this?"
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. But I'll find out.
Okay. I'll get a couple of the boys to check into this for me.
Figured you'd want it.
Did you find what you needed, Lucita?
Oh yes, and plenty more.
Oh?
We need to have a talk privately.
Okay. Cyrus, your money is on its way.
And he'll nod, and he'll turn, and he'll walk away.
Okay. And Dot will watch you leave and wait for the door to shut behind you before she turns back to Lucita. Yes, my dear.
This is going to be a long discussion about what is going on with the Lasombra here in Atlanta.
Yes, it's been a thorn in my ass for long enough.
We should have a glass of Vitae to talk.
We should. Tell me, do you need fresh or will bottled suffice?
I always like fresh.
Okay. Boys! And you see two young men enter the room. She goes, I like these, so just, don't polish it off. And she has one of the young men walk to sit next to you. And she has hers sit next to her. She says, our previous prince, may he enjoy being ash, was bloodbound to two Lasombra. I don't know them. I don't wish to know them. No offense. Whatever their motives with this city are, I don't know it. And now, there is one with the Second Inquisition. As far as I know, he's their prisoner. But I think he likes to think himself there of his own accord, of course. But nevertheless, they have access to blood like yours and powers like yours. And I don't like that.
Neither do I, considering when I took a bite out of one of them, I tasted my own blood. Of my kind.
Yes. From the intel Cyrus gathered to me, they have a lab. They're building something. One of the coterie that I have Cyrus fraternize with was experimented on by them and injected with multiple serums, many of which contained Lasombra blood, and now the poor little gangrel can't control his shadow.
I see. So a better mitigation plan needs to be put in place.
We need to cut off their supply.
Yes.
And we need to eradicate all the ones that have any connection with this.
And who do you trust to do these kind of work?
The only person I ever trust is Cyrus. And you, of course, dear, but we're old enough to know better.
Precisely. All right, well, it seems that there's not much we can do in this night, but in the coming nights, I want to work on a plan with you.
I would love that. You know I'm a candidate for Prince as well. Should I win this, I think you and I have a lot we can accomplish together.
I agree, and I'm excited to see what comes of that.
I'll make sure you have an invitation. There's enough young people here that, honestly, you could get by pretty unnoticed.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Take care, sweetheart.
You as well.
And so, with the famed Lucita now present in Atlanta, and a mysterious set of armory from the Second Inquisition that can now be investigated, that is where we are going to leave this vignette. We will see you guys again. Take care. Bye.